You all know what it is. Tammy C. Walker, the owner of Dreams Are a Reality. I create this channel to provide light and love. You all already saw my new intro with King Sis. I love King Sis. Woohoo! I do not have the rights to that music. All righty, let's talk about this today. A successful woman. What makes a successful woman? Join the Dreams Are Reality family on this channel. I lead with light and love. I think you will want to join this channel. It's going to help you improve your life daily, weekly, monthly, yearly. I talk about everything, relationships. I talk about changing your career. If you hate your job, it's videos for that. I talk about surviving cancer. I just talk, but it's all going to be love. It's all going to be light. So hit that like button, hit subscribe. Let's get it. Who is she? The successful woman. She must possess some of these great things that I have discovered. I feel like I am her. I'm pretty sure she is you. And if she is not you, this is what you need to do so you can be her. Stay with me now. Let's get it. First of all, the successful woman, she is resilient. One thing that's going to happen, and bet your bottom dollar, things will happen to try to discourage you. And it will not happen like one time. It will happen in multiple times. Let me tell you what happened to me over the last 2 weeks. One is just so out of my control. You know, all of them were, but one in particular was big, big loss. So the one thing, and I told you all, if you watch my video, I got a fraudulent, something happened to my checking account where somebody did an afterpay twice, $20, $45. Not a whole lot of money. But what if somebody is really tight on cash and that's their last? That's a big deal for somebody. Then I get this dental bill for like $1,900. I have pretty good dental insurance, so I thought, and so I'm doing an appeal for that. Hopefully I'll get them to pay a little bit more because that really caught me off guard. And then last but not least, I lost my godbrother a week ago today. So the successful woman knows that problems like these are going to happen, and most unfortunately these big losses, as sad as I am, and I am sad, it's still like my mentality is like, girl, you still have clients. I still have to finish work this week. I have a lot of different like activities going for work. And the successful woman knows she has to stay resilient. It's not saying we don't deal with grief or we don't stop. We do, but you have to keep going. I'll never forget, sorry to start off morbid too, but I'll never forget when my mom passed. In our deep grief, I still had to go and make sure her obituary was printed up correctly. And I know others of you that are watching me, you can relate to losses of loved ones, and you still have to go buy the casket or the urn if you're doing a cremation, all that other stuff. You know what a funeral entails. So in your grief, you're still moving as a business person because you got to get it done. And that's a resilient person. No time to be falling all over the floor or crying all day and trust and believe. When my daddy died, I fell on the floor. I'm not going to lie. I did. I just dropped. And if that's what you got to do, you do it. And then you get up and you go handle your business with God. With God, we can. But resilient women, they know how to keep it moving. We have to. Even, hey, I was heartbroken a few years ago. I sat at that desk in HR, tears coming down my eyes, and answered those calls because I said, guess what? Top of the month, heartbroken or not, rent must be paid. And I dealt with my sadness through therapy every Monday for a minute, and it did help. Let's keep it moving. Also, she is confident, and let me explain confidence. Confidence is not pinning yourself up against another woman. I just saw a video on Facebook of this beautiful 60-year-old woman. She was saying some younger woman said these women over 40 competing. Let me tell you all something. We could kill that noise right here, right there. A confident woman, she could stand in the room with anybody, and she doesn't bow down. I'm not going to fill in the blank. She doesn't do that because she doesn't care. I was at a party yesterday with my two best girls, and a room full of, you eccentric people. It was a house music rooftop Chicago party, but it was not our style of music. It was very interesting crowd, but there were some pretty women there as well as okay looking men. I didn't see no real cute looking men, but you don't size them up or snarl at them who they think they are. Confident women, a confident woman, she knows who she are from the crown of her head to her pinky toe. And I never, when I say never, I do not compete with another woman. And I know some women be thinking that's not true or she's lying. It's just how I am. I was built like this. Growing up, I was super thin. I told you all this. They ridiculed me. I grew up in the African American community. Being thin was not in. But what I did say to myself, I'm okay looking. I'm cute. I have big legs and I always had okay butt. And that's what I rocked. And so confident women know I may not be, the next supermodel, but I'm a model to me. I may not have perfect features, but I love what God gave me. And this is what makes women confident. And if it's something we don't like, we can always, you all see my little shirt, my niece bought me this. You can always embellish it. And I'm not saying go and have surgery, but if that's what you want to do, you can do that too. Confident women, they appreciate who they are and what they are and whose they are. And they rock on that. They don't spend time competing against another woman. And confidence is not arrogance, is not looking down on a server or someone that's painting your toenails or offering you a service. It's saying thank you very much and have a good day. That's what it is. Confidence is not rude, it's not puffed up, it's not arrogance. So I don't know why people getting that mixed up. A confident woman knows if she goes on a job interview, she's getting the job. If she don't get that job, she's getting the 2 or 3 more behind that one. That's confidence. A confident woman does not chase a man at all. Point blank, period. She does not chase a man. So you could do that new women stuff and this and that. Confident woman, they just don't do that. They don't even have time to do that. And I'm not saying men got to kiss our butt and all of that, but we don't chase a man. And a man's man, he'll tell you he does not like women that pursue them. I've asked. They said they don't like it. So don't get mad. Listen to the information that I'm trying to provide. All right, confident woman, she's emotionally intelligent. She can read the room. Some people just talk out of line. They just say any old thing. They're at work. They're doing the running man, acting crazy. Emotional intelligent women and men, they can read the room. They know that this is not appropriate for this setting. I'm not saying dumb yourself down, but let me adapt to where I'm at. Yes, I'm from the west side of Chicago. You all know I talk about it all the time. Somebody said, one of my girls on YouTube said I talk like R. Kelly. I was like, oh God. And I might get censored for even saying his name. But yeah, I'm from Chicago. I am. And I know how to talk slang very well, but I also know how to talk correctly. So, that's emotional intelligence. I can adapt myself to where I need to. When I'm talking to my 6th, 7th, 8th graders, I'm not going to say, please, Pops, the great poupon. I could talk to them in a relatable manner. I talk about topics that they can relate to. And, you know what I'm saying? Sorry, say, I work on that. Integrity. She has integrity. She's not going to go out and do a $2 million PPP loan knowing she could go to jail. No, integrity would tell you to work hard and play hard and use your scruples, use your smarts, your intelligence, back to emotional intelligence, to do things that will get you far. Not that'll set you back. Nothing worse than spending your years working on your education, spending your years building your business, only to do something fraudulent to send you to jail. Now that's a back pedal. So that's when integrity comes in. What about passion? I gotta be passionate. I believe in being passionate about anything I do. I love music. I can listen to music for 2, 3 hours. I'm passionate about my singing. I'm passionate about dancing. This is something that touches my heart. I'm passionate about showing up for my clients as my best self. I believe that when I walk into the room, when I first meet a client, I have to present my best self. I am an African American woman in the field that is not highly populated with African American women. It's getting better. It's there, But yeah, I see practices and they're all, Caucasian. I'm not knocking it. I really don't care. But where do I fit into that? And I'm not trying to fit into that. I want to be able to service clients. I'm a social worker, I'm a therapist, I'm a counselor, marriage counselor. I want to service all clients. My clients right now that I have are every race. I have every race. I'm not just African American therapist, African American counselor that only serves African Americans. No, I have every race on my roster. So I like to do that. And I want to be in a circle where, I feel comfortable. I want to fit in. I'm never going to fit in. Never. And I don't want to fit in. All right. She is assertive. Assertive is not aggression. Assertive is communicating in an effective manner where you are heard, but you don't have to overtalk somebody. It's not cursing somebody out. It's not calling them out their name, but you are using a voice that is clear, that is direct, and it's letting people know that you mean business, but you're still doing it with respect. See, some of these younger women, I'm not putting all of you all down because I know some that are jamming on the one. They are really on top of their stuff. But some younger women, it's not even an age thing. That's why when I always say younger, I have to pause because I start thinking about women my age that just do some stupid stuff and going off on people everywhere you go, trying to control people. Oh, I hear so much stuff. I really do, like, about women trying to control men, women breaking into their phone, women jumping into their adult children's lives and wrecking it. And it's like, God bless America. If I had kids, so with my age range, maybe they'll be 18, 20, I don't know. I would be so sad at night if I spent my day trying to wreck my son's life or wreck my daughter's life. That is preposterous. And it's like, it goes back to emotional intelligence. When you have that, you already know you should be spending your latter years perfecting yourself. There's nothing wrong with aging. And I think this is where some women are getting caught up. They're sad because their youth is gone and they feel like life is over. The party just started. And it's all about how you feel about yourself. The party I was at yesterday was people older than me. And they were living their best lives. They looked happy. They looked youthful. And so it's all about you. Maya has a song that, and Cisco, it's all about you. It's all about me. Anyway, whatever. I don't even want to start with a song, but it's really all about you. And so don't get caught up in age stuff, but regardless of your age, 25, 55, just make sure you rock it and high step it. Okay. It's about your attitude and being assertive and communicate effectively and clearly about what you want, not aggressively. It's a difference. I speak about that with my couples. Are you aggressive or are you assertive? Or are you passive aggressive? Communication just was great to speak about that. You want to communicate. And so you'll have to do this in all areas. You own your own business. You must communicate with your clients. You must communicate with people that work for you. I must communicate with my accountant. I have to talk to the IRS sometimes. I have a business. So I'm in a lot of circles. You know what I'm saying? You all know. I'm a therapist. I have to communicate effectively. I have people emailing me, want to inquire about my services. Sometimes they want a consultation. I have to communicate. I have to communicate at school. I work with the principal. I have to talk to the principal. I have to talk to all the staff, teachers. I have to talk to parents. I'm just on the phone with parents. I'm taking a couple of my girls to the Brookfield Zoo. I know, nice zoo here in Illinois on Tuesday. So I have to be able to communicate. I can't be on the phone him and hawing. Well, I'm Tammy Walker and I want to take your daughter to the zoo. They're not gonna feel comfortable with me. Communication is key. It's really important in these love relationships. Sometimes our guys, or if it's same sex or whatever, our partners don't communicate well. And I know I've noticed that with me, with the one I love. I have to do a lot of talking because the communication, it's just not there. And it's common for some guys. They're not the best communicators. Good people, sweethearts, but maybe that's an area where you have to like really pump it up a little bit. And sometimes Know who you're with. Let me say that. Let me just break off into a little relationship tip. Know who you're with. Okay, so if you're with a guy and he has the strong financial sense, you're a big shopper, he's not. Okay, let him run that. If you communicate better, then you're gonna have to take the lead. The frustration I see with some couples I talk to, or even individuals, they're frustrated because their husband or their wife doesn't communicate well. Well, you could beat somebody over the head with something. If it's not in them, there's a high probability they may not change. So what you have to do is lead that discussion. You may have to probe a little bit or do prompting questions. There's no need to be with somebody 12 years, 20 years, 30 years, and you're still frustrated because they don't communicate with you. It's a high probability they are probably not going to. Now, it's case by case. It's case by case, but I think many times you get what you get, and what you see is what you get. And don't frustrate or stress yourself out trying to make someone be something that they're not. If you again, if you're strong in your communication, you lead that and guide them and prompt and probe. But communication is essential with your utility bills, with your credit card bills, with your student loans, all these things. I should be naming this stuff because I got to sit up here and pay some bills today, tonight, and I need to pay some when I get paid. And it just seems like, whoo, it's overwhelming a little bit because that student loan stuff starting to come back. But yeah, I got to communicate. We got to communicate. You cannot escape communication. Again, the younger people, they're so used to texting and being on those phones. You need to open your mouth and talk. And one thing somebody said, younger people, they articulate things really well. I would agree with some of that. My 6th, 7th, 8th graders, some of them, I'm looking at them like, wait a minute now. When I was that age, I didn't know any of this. But the younger people, you still need to be more assertive and open your mouth, because if you can communicate as a young person, you're going to get a lot further. Trust and believe. You'll get hired even if you don't have the skill set, but your communication is top notch and you're professional and friendly. Somebody will hire you and train you versus somebody that's like, I don't know. People don't like that. They don't like that in the business world. All right, let me keep it going. Any successful woman knows she must do self-care. We had a lady here, God bless her. She passed away. She was she was over like the Illinois lottery. She had breast cancer, and they told her, please go to the doctor. She said, I don't have time to go to a doctor. That lady passed away from breast cancer and left behind a son. And it broke my heart. And I will have to look up her information. It might have been after I had my first bout. And I bet you if she had taken out that time and went to the doctor, she may still be with us, because early detection, it saves lives. But don't ever say you don't have time to take care of your health. I don't care if you make millions, billions, your product is selling, your videos are banging, you riding the wave of success. Success is taking care of your body, because if you don't do self-care, you're not going to be able to pump out a video. Self-care looks like turning off your phone. It looks like putting your foot in some nice hot water with Epsom salt. It looks like a massage. It looks like a facial. And some of this stuff you could do on your own. You don't have to always run out, have somebody doing it. It looks like curling up with a good book, curling up with a nice hot cup of tea, hot cup of coffee, a nice glass of wine, getting you some therapy, getting you a life coach. Journaling, self-care is the bomb. And when you do self-care, it creates this beautiful self-love, which attracts love to you. Not only love, it attracts success. Because when you feel good and look good, that radiates off of you, and your aura is going to show up. People are very smart. This is what I say about celebrities and singers. When you have a fan base that has followed you for years, you change your music up on them, they are hot. And when you come out flat on the stage, although they're human, your fans are pissed. Oh, she didn't sound good today. I hate to hear that about some of my favorite singers, and then they'll be like, they don't do good live. I go, ugh, because that's important to me. I can sing And I want to hear you belt out those notes. Okay, you're under the weather. I give people a pass over that. But when you love your artists, you want to hear them perform and give it to you. You don't pay this money. Then I hear about some of these people. Lauryn Hill, always late. I'll never go see Lauryn Hill. And she is like one of my favorites. But that's very disrespectful. You've been out the game for 1,000 years. You come back, we loving on you, and you're going to show up late on the stage. That's not right, Lauryn. So you got to have self-care to present yourself in a manner that's well. That self-care connects with your success. You gotta have courage. You gotta have courage. It's no way around it because bad things are going to happen. When I was diagnosed with cancer, I was 36 years old. I'm at work. The doctor just cold-blooded. Yeah, you do have cancer. Left it on my voicemail. I'm like, what the? And it just messed me up. It messed me up so bad my eye twitched for 2 weeks because when he said that and I'm listening on my phone, I'm like, what? And I jumped and it made my eye just twitch for 2 weeks straight. But I had to have courage to push through. I had to have courage to get out of a very toxic and dangerous relationship. You have to have courage when you lose a loved one. You have to have courage when you have a broken heart and you just want to lay in the bed, but you got shit to do. You got to have courage to push through. And a successful woman, she always knows that. And some of these women, I'm just like blown away. They can go through hell and high water and just drama, and they show up day in, day out for their babies, for their mother, for their husband. It doesn't matter what goes on. This woman is steadily pushing. I used to look at my own mom. She worked at the post office. It was toxic. I was like, how does my mother work there? I would drop her off sometimes, and I would be like, please tell me this person don't work with you. Yeah, they work with me. My mother come in there looking so gorgeous. I'm like, these people look like they didn't care. And I knew they would be envious of her, but she would tell me some stuff. My mother didn't let that stuff bother her. But my mother was a courageous woman from Mississippi, separated from her siblings for 16 years, her brother and sister, picking cotton, learned how to drive at 12, 13, came to Chicago, was a kindergarten, or she said daycare teacher, kindergarten, I think she told me, preschool. Then came to the post office. She pumped out 35 years at the post office. She beat cancer 3 times and ultimately succumbed to brain cancer in 2012. But like Stuart Scott said, when you pass from cancer, you didn't fail. You won by how you lived your life. My mother was a courageous woman. I'm just grateful to God to have her blood running through me, as well as my dad from Mobile, Alabama, who faced racism. So you gotta have courage because bad things happen to good people. I was just kind of looking at some clips about Aaliyah, and they were showing her mother. Her mother's so pretty. Aaliyah looked a lot like her mom when her mother was younger, just period. And I just always think about Mrs. Halton, and I hope and pray she's okay. People speak negatively about her over the who situation. And yeah, maybe some judgment was a bit lapsed there. But the one thing I don't want to do is beat up Mrs. Halton. And they want to set their baby out to be harmed. Maybe it was a lapse of judgment there. I don't know. I just try not to take that negative side. And I know what you all saying. It is some people out there that, for money, they'll do anything. But I don't think that was the case. But yeah, I loved Aaliyah. And she had great courage. Because even after that happened to her, that just made me so sad. I'm going to stop talking about that. But that made me so sad. Even after that happened to her with she pushed through and she came back beautiful. She came back like a rose and she killed it. I mean, that girl did more in those little short years than some of us can do and will do in our whole life. And I just, it make me choke up. It's like good people like that. Sometimes they leave us so soon and you just say, God, why? Why? But I think he does that to get our attention. I really, really do. Have courage, you all, because things are going to happen and you got to stand the test of time. One thing about a successful woman, me, we believe in ourselves, and you have to believe in yourself. If you have to ask someone about you, you're in trouble. You better know. You better know who you are. I just was telling my guy cousin that, well, when I did my conceal and carry class, hey y'all, hey, it was a military guy, and they're older, crabby old grumpy thing, but thank you for your service. And he was like, yeah, that's just like social workers. We don't know what they do. And so my teacher, he really took a liking to me. I was the only lady in there, of course. I'm always the only lady with a bunch of guys. And he was like, Tammy's a social worker. She's going to get you. And so the guy looked back and was like, he looked so embarrassed. And the whole class was like, oh, all the guys gasped. I didn't blink. And I told that guy, he said, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know. I said, hey, I'm confident in my career. I know I'm a good social worker, and I know I show up and I show out for my clients. He may not know what a social worker does, but that's his problem. I told my girl today, I said, he gonna need us. He's a veteran. He'll be right at the VA asking for help, and one of us social workers will be giving him the resources he needs. So you always believe in yourself. It don't matter what somebody says. They can call me out my name, like they said about African Americans, blacks. We don't care about that other word no more. We've been called that for years. That don't bother us no more. I mean, I don't answer to it, or I don't, you know what I'm saying? It's not something I want to be called, but I'm not gonna go fighting somebody if they call me out my name. I'm very clear on who I am. I am Tammy Sharice Walker, and that's Miss Walker. If you're nasty, come through. You all believe in yourself. Don't ever ask somebody else about you. You always know who you are. Alrighty now, you all. Oh boy, I wrote down. Always got to have goals. Always, always, always. I write my goals out mostly weekly. I'm just writing down things I want to address. Just goals, 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 and I move by them. I'm not a stickler on the dates, but I know I got to get it done. And when I get it done, I'll put I might put a check mark. I might put the date I did it, or I'll be like, wow, look, I did it. But I really move by goals, and they keep me focused. Sometimes I do a to-do list daily. I have a lot of strategies I do, but goals have got me this far. And another thing I do with my goals, let's say I want to buy a new car, so a BMW SUV. I'm not gonna buy it, but I saw SUV and I really liked it. So let's pretend I want to get it in 2025. I would start researching now how much it costs. And sometimes I go like a couple of years back where I won't have to pay that big amount. Because sometimes lightly used or certified new cars, I mean, you save thousands, all because somebody drove them for a little while. I did that research when I went back to school for my master's degree and several things. So I always write down goals and stick with them. They will help you get far. Gotta have empathy for other people. If you're successful, you are going to be a mentor for others. Your empathy is going to be key. It's shameful. Shameful. You hear people, they are managers. I don't know what they're doing with managers these days. Some of these people they're appointing as managers, they don't have a clue. And one thing with leadership and management, you must have empathy for your employees. They are going to come with you sick. They're going to come with you. Their spouse died. Their spouse is sick. Their baby is sick. Their mother died. They are struggling at work. They're battling depression. They're going to have issues. And you need to have empathy. You can't be cold and like you can't relate to someone that's ill because it could be you. And I see that with management. Sometimes they act like they lack empathy, but then when it's them, they want the world to stop. Come on, you all. Success does not mean being jerky. It does not mean thumbing your nose down at others and being arrogant. Some of the stuff I hear that celebrities do, I'm like, this is shameful. Where's the empathy? You're gonna need it. I don't care how much money you have. You need somebody to empathize with you one day. I think I'm gonna end on this one. One thing about a successful woman, she is always open to learn. No matter my age, I'm going to always be in a book. I'm going to always be journaling. I'll always be trying to learn. I talk to my god auntie who is 95, and she always gives me more and more wisdom because she's been through a lot. And when she tells me something, I really listen because I know she's been around a lot more years than me. And she been there, done that, bought the book, wrote the book, and signed it. So a successful lady always knows there is somebody else that knows more. That's one thing I loved about Oprah Winfrey. She has those people on her show, like Sunday Soul. I think she still has that on her show when she had the Oprah Winfrey show, whatever. she's always intrigued with somebody else. Like, thank you, light bulb moment. You know, she doesn't sit there like, I know everything. I'm a billionaire. I don't even know how much Oprah went worth now. Probably, let me look up when I get off here. Probably 2 or 3 by now, billion. But she's always intrigued and listening to what somebody else has to say. No matter how many degrees you got, no matter how fine you are, no matter how many Grammys and Oscars, you can always learn from somebody else. I learned literally from my nephews, my great nephew, my baby nephew. My baby nephew is on the spectrum, and he was over here, and I had some little graham cracker teddy bear cookies. I said, "You want this?" He said, "I don't know." Okay, so I learned. I don't think he likes those. So I learned that day. And my other, the 7-year-old great nephew, Micah, that my baby is Marlon, and Micah is my great nephew, 5 and 7. And so we're talking in my sister's living room, and he goes, "I think I'm ready to pray." And my little baby started praying. I'm like, so that let me know I need to pray more. When the 7-year-old is prompting to pray. Now, what that do? Who does that? So we are always learning from out of the mouth of babes, as well as from, I learned from 20-some-year-olds. I learned from my elders. I'm doing a newsletter for my job for a committee I'm on, and they appointed 2 younger women to help me. Sweethearts, they're so sweet. And I did ask one to help me this past week. She said, "I'll get it to you in 5 or 10 minutes." Young. That girl shot that thing over to me on Canva. Gorgeous. And I was like, this is what I'm saying. Even though I'm 30, am I 30 years older than her? 20. Yeah, I'm over 25 years older than her, probably. Stop. She was able to whip that thing out. So a successful woman knows we are as good as the people that rock with us, that work with us, that are under us, that are over us. We know we are always learning. And if you want to be a good leader in a company or your company, get people under you that are smarter than you. Don't ever be intimidated because somebody knows more than you. My niece is 19. I go to her to help me with my YouTube video. She's the one who put together that first intro that I have. I'm not good with that stuff. So always get up under and around people smarter than you, and that will keep you successful. Hey, success looks different for us all. Some, it may be being a successful wife, a successful mother, having your own business, having your money together, having your health together. But if your mind is not right, man, that's the key to me to success. Having a good mind, because wherever your mind goes, the body will follow. And you need your mind to climb and soar to heights above your imagination, to get your degree, to get your PhD, to own your own business, get your LLC, to get into shape. That's mind control. That's mind. To be in a successful, healthy, loving relationship, your mind got to be right. A healthy man, he doesn't want to be bothered with no drama. He not. He is not. He is going to run. So get yourself together, you all. You got it. Some of you are watching already successful. And if you're not, follow those tools and tips and those words I use to become successful. You don't have to be everything I named, but be something. Be somebody. If you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. All right, gotta go. Signing off. Tammy Sharice Walker, the owner of Dreams Are Reality. Thank you for watching. Bye.